Hello, fabulous fourth graders of St. Lucie Public Schools. I am Miss Owens, the math coach at Longwood Elementary, and it's a pleasure to be able to work with you guys once again. Thank you for tuning in with me. Let's get into today's lesson. So in today's lesson, we are going to review addition. And have some very basic strategies for you guys, but we do want to go over some very, very critical areas to make sure that you guys are properly regrouping and understanding how to combine and join numbers. So before we get into our lesson, we're going to review the problem that we left off on. We were trying to find out the missing side in a rectangle. We were given the area, and we were also given the width, but we do not know the length. So the area is 72 square feet. The the width is 6 feet, and that means the length is 12 feet because 6 times 12 equals 72. That was one of those basic fluency fact problems, but you could have divided as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into today's lesson. The standard for this lesson is MBT 2.4, and the standard reads, the student will be able to add and subtract multi-digit whole numbers using the standard algorithm. Our key idea says use your knowledge of basic fact fluency and place value to add and subtract whole numbers. So that's exactly what we're going to do. One of the most critical things that you guys need to know when you are adding and subtracting is make sure your numbers are aligned. If you're given numbers that are written horizontally, you need to rewrite them vertically and line up your place value. We always start at the right end when we're adding, or the least place value, which is the ones place. So let's take a look at our first problem. We have 481 plus 247. And this number is written horizontally, so I'm just going to rewrite it and align the place values. I'm going to write it vertically. So that's 400, 8 tens, 1 1, plus 2 hundreds, 4 tens, 7 ones. Okay? So when I begin with the ones place, if I take 1 1, and I add it to 7 ones, then I will have 8 ones. Moving to the tens place, I have 8 tens, and if I add it to 4 tens, I will have 12 tens. 12 tens can be regrouped because 12 tens is also equivalent to 102 tens. So when I regroup 8 plus 4 equals 12, 8 tens plus 4 tens equals 12 tens, I'm going to keep the 2 tens in the tens place, but this 100 will be regrouped over to the hundreds place. So I have 4 hundreds plus 2 hundreds, and that 100 that was regrouped over, and now I have 7 hundreds. So the sum of 481 and 247 is 728. Now, just to give you guys some basic math vocabulary, the numbers that you're adding are called add-ins, and the answer is called a sum. And addition is you're combining quantities. So what happens is when you take a certain amount of quantity and you add another amount of quantity, or you join, you get more. So the answer is going to be greater than what you started with because you're joining two quantities or more. Okay, so let's take a look at another problem. In June, the History Museum collected $43,829 in adult fees and $15,475 in admission fees for children. What was the total amount of admission fees collected by the museum in June? So a lot of the times when you're looking at word problems and you're looking at numbers that are that large, it could be a little difficult to concentrate on what's going on. So I am going to read it again, and I'm going to substitute the word sum for the numbers in this word problem. Hopefully you can see there. So it says, in June, the History Museum collected some money in adult admission fees and some money in admission fees for children. What was the total amount of admission fees collected by the museum in June? So now I can tell that they're taking a look at the amount of money that was collected for adults, because you know, sometimes when you go places, adults pay a different price than kids. And they want to know how much money total was collected when they looked at the amount of money they charged for the children and the amount of money they charged for the adults. So let's go ahead and write this out. So the price for the adults was $43,829, and the price for the children is $15,475. And you want to make sure that your numbers are properly aligned. So we're going to start on the right with the ones place. 9 ones plus 5 ones equals 14 ones. We are going to regroup 10 of those ones and make it 110. So we kept the 4 here and we regrouped the 110. And we have 2 tens plus 7 tens, that's 9 tens. 9 tens plus 1 more 10 equals 10 tens. That is the exact amount I need to make a 100. So I'm going to regroup all of those tens and bring them over to the 100th place as one group of 100. So here I have 8 hundreds and 4 hundreds. That's 12 hundreds, plus 1 more hundred is 13 hundreds. I'm going to keep 3 of those hundreds, regroup 10 of them to make 1,000. We know that 10 hundredths is the same thing as 1,000. Now we're going to add the thousands place. We have 5,000s, 3,000s, and 1,000. 5 and 3 is 8, plus 1 more equals 9. Bring my comma down. Coming over to the 10,000s place, 4 10,000s plus 1 10,000 equals 5 10,000s. So the question asks, what was the total amount of admission fees collected by the museum in June? Well, the total amount of admission fees collected by the museum in June is $59,304. And last but not least, we have one more problem. And I'll let you guys work this one out, and then I will come back with the answer. So, this one is more than 2 add-ins. $4,918, $3,856, $704. Okay, so I'll give you a tip for adding more than 2 add-ins. You need to try to use basic fact fluency to help you, like with doubles, or look at numbers that combine to make 10. That way it will make it easier for you to add more than 2 numbers at one time. So I'll give you a few minutes to solve, and then I'll come in and solve. Okay, let's go ahead and begin in the ones place. So I'm going to use the 4 and the 6 to make 10. And then 10 plus 8 equals 18. That's 18 ones. So I'm going to regroup 10 of them to make one group of 10. That's why there's a 1 here. So I have 1 10 and another 1 10. That's 2 10s. 2 10s plus 5 10s equals 7 10s. 7 10s plus 0 10s equals 7 10s. Moving over to my hundreds place. Ooh, this one is a little bit tricky. Well, I know that 8 and 9 is 17, and 17 and 7 is 24. So I'm going to regroup. Just double check. Yes. Okay, so I have 2,000s and 4,000s and 3,000s. 4 and 3 is 7. Adding 2 more equals 9,000. So the total here is 9,478. Did you get that answer as well? Fabulous. Well, I'm not going to leave you guys with the problem today because we worked on this one together. But thank you guys for tuning in with me. It is always my pleasure to work with you guys from home. I want you guys to keep working hard and keep giving it your best. You are the best students in the world, if you don't know that by now. Thank you for tuning in with me, and see you next time.